Hi, and welcome to XR for Work. This is the show where we explore the immersive, virtual, mixed, and augmented platforms designed for business and professional use. My name is Rick, and I'm your host here at XR for Work. Today, we're looking at Driftspace, a platform for content creation and storytelling using 360 video. Driftspace allows you to import and leverage your own 360 content and combine that with text, images, and lead the viewer through an experience branching into a mix of content along the way. This can be the family vacation or wedding memories on steroids, could be an educational experience designed to convey knowledge and context, a walkthrough of a new building or office, or even an artistic expression using the medium of 360 video to express a perspective to the audience. There's so many ways that you can use Driftspace. They have the aspiration to be the YouTube of 360 video for content creators and consumers. And I think they're on the right track. And with that, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Leave us some feedback below and give us a follow here on YouTube. And now there's a lot to cover, so let's get started. So, what is Driftspace? Well, it is 360 content creation and storytelling using your Oculus Quest. That means you actually do the editing and create your story inside of VR where your consumers will be watching your content. You take 360 video footage and then add text, images, animations, and branches to other videos. Well, let's listen to Jordan from Driftspace as he talks about what Driftspace is all about.
First of all, thanks for showing me around today. Maybe you can start off by telling us a little bit about what Driftspace is.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be here today. So Driftspace is a storytelling in VR content creation tool. And we're trying to create an easy and user-friendly way for anybody to take footage, 360 footage, bring it into VR, and then use basic drag and drop interactivity tools to create compelling content and bring their friends or anybody else into a social experience to view these experiences in VR. Now, the aspiration for Driftspace is to be, let's say, the YouTube of VR, where, as you can see, we have a number of featured drifts here in the central panel. We would love to have at some point hundreds and thousands of drifts and a search function and indexes of all kinds of content that you can search for, user-generated content, commercial and branded content, perhaps. The other side of the equation is Driftspace being a fantastic content creation tool for professional creators, videographers, VFX artists, and marketing and advertising agencies that want to use VR as a way to engage an audience. And in that sense, we like to say Driftspace is like Squarespace for VR. So similar to a Wix or a Squarespace, where you don't need to know how to code a website. You can just use drag and drop tools. Driftspace is the same concept in VR, where once you have the core footage that you bring into the environment through our dashboard, you can then use our drag and drop functionality to place everything where you want to place it, put text, links to other scenes, images. We're soon going to be adding video panes. We're soon going to be adding animated GIFs and 3D models. So a lot of different types of media to show off everything from kind of a virtual tour through a museum, perhaps, or a really compelling physical location, to showing off the entire supply chain of a coffee collective who's that's a client that we've been working with. So showing where the beans are grown and what the store looks like, and using it for training customers as well. So it's incredibly flexible.
And I got to spend some time with Jordan going through a demo, actually a couple of demos. And so we're going to be spending some time today sharing my experience with Jordan as he walked me through Driftspace. Driftspace is also multi-user. So you can get in there and collaborate and design with others, just like Jordan and I were on these occasions when he was giving me a demo of the Driftspace environment, so that you can both share your creations. And again, you keep going back to the family vacation video on steroids, where you can get together with family from across the country in different states or across the world, all in your Oculus Quest headsets, and have that 360 experience together, all the way to, as Jordan had said, sharing with other business partners or vendors or customers how a certain business process works, and walk them through all the way from the genesis of a certain product or idea all the way to getting it into a customer's hands. So let's listen to Jordan talk about
this is a multi-user collaborative platform also. This is not like a one and done, one person in. You and I are obviously in the same room at the same time, able to work on a project together and edit and make adjustments. You can, I think I heard you mention at one point, you can have as many as, what do I recall?
I think it's 10 to 12 people we've tested.
10 users, yeah.
Yeah. So we're in this 3D space, and you can see we have a very rudimentary avatar system here, but we do have spatial audio, so we can tell where voices are coming from. And if you were a content creator or an agency, or just a small team of artists, and you were all wanting to work on building one of these drifts inside the production environment, you can do that in real time, just like we're doing now.
And you might quickly understand and see the importance of being able to collaborate, especially on larger projects or educational projects, where you have expertise from different areas, all contributing to make this experience that you'll be sharing with another party. Now, let's take a look at a little bit longer segment where we look at some of the feature and functionality that Driftspace has.
Jordan, great. It's good to be back here in Driftspace with you. I'm eager to kind of get a look at a lot of the tools and the capabilities users would have here in Driftspace, the type of media that they can work with, and how they can edit and really personalize their drifts. So we're here in the main menu, and I think we're going to select one of these drifts and go in, and then you're going to talk through the editing capabilities. Does that sound right?
Yeah, absolutely. So in this menu here, these are drifts that we own. That is, this username and password is editing these drifts. So drifts that are being created and are not yet published are owned by that particular account, and they can't be seen by any other account until they're published to the public. So let's go into this one. It's called Normcore Test Drift. This is one that we often use to do demos.
Oh, this is a nice one. Here at the beach on Hawaii, I'm just pausing my video so we can hear each other and look around. Got the flowers.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's,
so each of these are assets, I assume, that can get brought in.
Right. So everything here, the text box, these images, which are rendered as kind of flat 3D objects here, these are all media assets that were previously uploaded to the web dashboard and can now be brought in through the editor tool and the editor dashboard when we're here on VR. I do want to make one comment, though, on you pausing the video. Usually, videos have an audio track associated with them that could be just the environmental sounds or the voiceover. Yeah, absolutely. And you can see when the video is running that, you know, it's captured at 60 frames a second. It's nice and smooth, but it is loud. So for the purposes of this demo, we're going to pause it so we can hear each other, like you said.
Sounds good. We've got it paused.
Okay. All right. So I think we can start with the editor dashboard, which gives you access to all the tools. So if you click on any blank space that's not an object in the scene, it should pop up for you. Let me know when it does.
Yep, got it right here in front of me.
Okay, so 1 second. Still got it?
Still have it.
Okay, so under the Create tab, you can see that there are.
Yep, we have the 3 tabs up top: Explore, Create, Publish, and
Publish.
we're on Create.
Right. If we go, don't click Explore because that will bring us back to the main menu.
Okay.
But we're in the editor, so Create is what we want to do right now. We have video options, images, links, which are basically hotspots that you can import into the scene, which can link to another video. You can do that multiple times, all kinds of ways to create whatever kind of narrative or directorial experience you want. Text boxes,
let me pause
obviously.
you here because I think that's an important element within Drifts, right? When you think about creating a story, so whether you're telling the story of a vacation week, or you're doing something actually more creative where you might be displaying a series of photos or videos that are telling a narrative or making a point through storytelling. You do that through these links to lead the viewer through those scenes.
Exactly. And you can, like I said, you can place the links wherever you want. You can associate text with them. So you can allow the viewer as much freedom as they can have to just explore the drift and the multiple scenes in there without any real guidance, or you can design those links to actually create a narrative experience and lead them through a sequence of scenes that might be more conducive to some storytelling. So if you check out under the floating logo of Driftspace here, there's a little hotspot. And if you hover over it, you can see that this hotspot is linked to another scene. It's called, it's called Scene 2. But there's a little orb there. It was already placed. And from there, you can edit the link. You can edit what the caption is going to say. You can decide whether this link fades in and fades out at some point in the video, and I'll show that in just a few moments to see in preview mode, where not everything will pop up all at once. When you enter a drift, you can actually decide at what point in the video clip you want certain images to fade in, so it can draw attention to certain things, and you can pace an experience in that way. And then, of course, you have rotate and delete. I'm going to quickly show how the image import function works. So I have my own dashboard up, which you can't see, but it's identical to yours. If you click on image, and maybe you can follow along with me. So if you click on image, let me know what you see there.
Yep, I have,
you have a bunch
of pictures, images, a cat, a bird, and then some that have icons that look like clouds with swirling satellites around them.
Yeah, so the icons are still downloading, but those would be images that are just downloading to your headset.
Right, from the cloud. Got it.
From the cloud, right. So how about we add that cat into this drift? Just as a way, just for fun, yeah.
All right. So we brought the cat in.
We brought the cat in. Now you'll probably have to pause the video again. It starts playing automatically.
Yep, got it.
All right, but now you can see we have a nice high resolution transparent PNG of a cat in Hawaii. And you can manipulate the picture. You just made it a little bit smaller. If you grab the corners of it, you make it bigger, smaller. If you use the trigger button to move it around and then you use the joystick, you can bring it forward and back on the Z-axis. So closer and further away to the viewer. And then, of course, you can rotate it. And this is maybe a good opportunity to show the fade functionality. So let's put the cat in, let's make it really big, and let's put it in a very prominent place, maybe above the Welcome to Hawaii text.
Got it.
Okay. So from here, click the fade tab when it's highlighted, and you can set it to fade in after, let's say, after 2 seconds.
Okay.
Let me know when that's done.
All done. Got it.
Okay. So now if we go into preview mode, so if you click away, click on a blank space and go back to the main editor menu, the last option on the right is preview. And so go ahead and click that.
All right. Well. Oh, and there comes the cat. It's going to be faded in after 2 seconds.
Yeah. And that's how easy it is. Yeah, so we can exit preview mode. But that is exactly how easy it is to basically go from the editor to what the final experience is going to look like for the viewer. And you can just switch back and forth however you want. Let's try adding, just to show you what the text looks like, the new text box. I can add some new text here.
Okay.
Okay, you can do it. Go ahead.
Well, just, oops, grab the wrong text. Put it over here. I'll pretend like I know what these flowers are, maybe.
Right, and remember, when you're editing and you kind of using some artistry in figuring out how to design and place all these elements together, you can layer them. We're going to have more sophisticated layering features in the future, and some more animations as well. If you click on the text panel and click edit, you can see there are a bunch of different options for font size and font type and things. So you can really bring some design chops in there. And we're going to be adding more colors and maybe some 3D text as well.
All right, great. So I got some text in here now that says Hawaiian flowers.
Perfect. So this is probably a good opportunity to show the links between scenes. And that's one of the cornerstones of how Driftspace is really cool. And it does something that would be very complicated to do using any other kind of tool, but in Driftspace, it's very trivial to do. So we have, if we turn toward the beach where the woman is sitting in the background, we already have a link pre-populated in there. Now we can, just to show the audience, if you click on link from the editor menu, you can bring a new one in.
Okay. Yep. I see it. It lets me edit the title of the link if I want to.
Sure. And
place it, and then I would click link on the menu, I imagine.
Right. And when you do that, you get brought to a similar menu to when you were selecting the images. Now you can select which uploaded video clips you want to link to. So those will have to have been uploaded previously through our web dashboard. So they're in the system.
That becomes an asset for you to choose while you're in it.
Exactly. So it can be if you are building a drift and you captured a lot of 360 video and you edited them into clips ahead of time before you uploaded them to our dashboard, you could have dozens of clips to choose from and really just decide where you want to go from there, and basically create almost like a website map or an experience map as you go along.
And so, for instance, here, I mean, can't help but think about vacation. I could use this beach scene as a launching point for any number of other videos about my experience in Hawaii.
Absolutely. So if we wanted to, like these links to other scenes can fade in and fade out in the same way as the cat did. So if you wanted, after a couple of seconds, to have maybe a collection of links, almost like an interactive menu that allows the audience member, the user, to go wherever you want them to go, and you can give them a little preview of what they're going to see. You can even put a screenshot or a screen caption of what the scene is going to look like. So let's go back into preview mode and see what the transition to that link actually looks like.
All right, we'll go into. And here I have my links. So let's take the diving one. And here we are.
Yep, here we are. And this one isn't as loud, but you can see it's obviously playing.
We'll let it run.
We can let it run. We can hear each other. We got a turtle over here on the right side and a couple of divers. And nothing too fancy here. We just have our logo and some text, a second scene underwater. There's another link here which allows us to go to a third scene. And let me know, did you click on that one? Or
I didn't, but I'm going to.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. So this is scene number 3. In the woods. And we're just slowly making our way through the woods. And if you can imagine, let's say you went to a trip to Hawaii and you went scuba diving and you went through a hike in the forest, or if you're if you run a resort and you want to give a prospective visitor a taste of what kind of environments are available to them and what kind of trips and packages are available, this could be a really great way to promote
idea.
it. Yeah, and you can promote it here in the headset. We're going to have our web viewer available soon, which you can, click and drag around the 360 environment to see what's going on. So shareability is a really important point there, and we want to make
the plans are whether you're in a headset or just in a web browser on your desktop, you'd be able to experience it.
Yeah, so ideally, again, just to remind everyone, we are in beta now, so a lot of these features are in development and are coming out soon. But the web player is coming out very soon, and that will allow people to put a link to a video that shows this drift in a 2-dimensional window pane, similar to how a YouTube video would show up on a website. But it'll be interactive in the sense that you can click and drag with your mouse cursor and look around the 3D environment that way. And also there should be a link to the actual Driftspace application. So if you have a headset with you, you can launch it from that view and actually start watching it in the headset too, to get to experience it as it was intended.
Nice. And I see we have a link to go right back to where we started. So if I do that, we're back at the beach.
We are back at the beach.
Outstanding.
So that gives you a pretty good sense of just what a simple drift can look like if you have 3 scenes and you link to them and you have a theme, obviously a trip to Hawaii or showing off different places you can go to Hawaii. And I can say that to build this entire drift, this entire experience, probably took 30 minutes, maybe. Just from scratch, just having the assets already uploaded in the dashboard, because obviously you need to have the footage first. But from a blank canvas to creating these 3 scenes with the images and the text and the context that links all 3 of them together took maybe 30 minutes to make. And so you can extrapolate from there.
This is going to change the whole idea of sharing the family photos or videos from any type of events, weddings, vacations, as well as, in business. I work in healthcare for a day job, and I think about opening a new facility and having someone be able to take a tour like this would be just invaluable. Yeah,
absolutely. The use cases are really run the gamut of different industries. You mentioned, family videos. We do have some wedding videos that are published. And any type of event that was captured with 360 video, you can create something like this. You can bring multiple people, provided that we all have headsets. You and I are wearing a headset, but we're talking to each other, looking at each other as avatars. We could hypothetically have another 3 or 4 or 5 people in here, and we can all be sharing the experience together. And if you want to create something together with some other people, you can do the same thing. Just like we were together in the editor, you brought the cat into the Drift. I saw you do that. I could bring things in there and you can see me editing things. So it can also serve as a really great collaborative platform if you have more than one person working on a project.
Just a whole nother level of creativity as to what you can do, again, with some of this content that we might be creating and want to share in a more creative way.
Absolutely. And walkthroughs, like you said, live event capture, just we're working with some brands now to create some narrative storytelling devices for brand promotion and marketing and advertising purposes. And just to speak to the commercial side, just very, very briefly, VR is obviously, it's a kind of an infant media. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to incorporate it into the regular content diet of, the average person who's either online or on their mobile device a lot. And there's a lot of content marketing that goes on in those two mediums. But VR is still in very early days and things are still getting figured out. Using Driftspace is a way to create content for, any purpose, like a personal use or a professional use, that allows it to be created quickly, cheaply, and easily, and it would be easily discoverable by whoever your intended audience is as well. So whereas in the past, you'd have to hire a Unity developer or know how to work in Unity, the game engine yourself, and it could be weeks of time and a lot of technical expertise involved. And if you're hiring somebody to do it, that's a lot of cost. You can get rid of all of those concerns with Driftspace and either do it yourself or have somebody do it for you, but it'll take a fraction of the time at a fraction of the expense.
Well, and there you have it, a fraction of the time at a fraction of the expense. I was really excited being here in Driftspace and having Jordan show me around, and actually have started planning to go out and do some shopping for a 360 camera. I'm going to be creating some drifts in my future. I can see that. As far as plans, as Jordan mentioned, Driftspace is in beta now, but it's available. You can go out in Oculus App Lab and find Driftspace and download it and create your account and start playing with the tool immediately. You get 10 gigs of storage space, all the standard features for free. If you need additional storage, 360 videos can get pretty big. And if you know that this is something that you're going to be leveraging, especially professionally moving forward, there's a light plan at $10 a month that gives you some additional support from the folks at Driftspace. And then for an enterprise level account, obviously you want to reach out to Driftspace, help them understand your needs and work out your arrangements with them. Okay. Hey, we really thank you for being here with us today. I hope you enjoyed that walk through Driftspace and the talk that we had with Jordan, and kind of hearing it right from the developer's mouth regarding what their aspirations and their plans are and what they're bringing to market and how you might be able to leverage it. We hope you'll continue to join us here and come back to XR for Work for more content in the future. So thank you again, and we'll see you in the metaverse. Bye now.